Thanks for listening to the BarkerCast, the Clive Barker podcast. In episode 344, Jose and Ryan go over the results of round 4 of the Duels of Blood competition, and we kick off round 5 where you can vote right now. Then we go over some appearances by some of our favorite Hellraiser people. This episode is sponsored by Don Bertram's Celebrate Imagination. Don Bertram is a longtime friend of Clive and advocate of his art, but Don's unique and inspiring paintings are for sale, and up to 50% of the proceeds go to the Arts and Medicine program at Texas Children's Cancer Center. Click the side banner and follow the link to go to the Etsy shop and have a look at his most recent untitled painting. Welcome. This is episode 344 of the Clive Barker podcast. Good evening, Jose.
Good evening. This is the low-energy episode of the Clive Barker podcast because it's 11 p.m. for me, and I worked 8 hours on a Saturday, and you just got home from working as well. So, but hey, we're always happy to be here and happy to talk about news and our Duels of Blood.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing I wanted to talk about really quick is after our conversation a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, our news episode, we were talking about Ultra HD, and I actually got myself a PlayStation 5. So I can watch Ultra HD movies. And so far, I have watched Godzilla vs. Kong and Transformers the movie.
Wow. Oh, yeah, the Transformers the movie from the 86, right?
Yeah.
Ah, cool. There's a Ultra 4K HD for that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, I'm not sure why, because I couldn't tell the difference on that one between that and the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But it was fun watching the movie again, and it's in a cool steelbook case and stuff.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I do too. Me Grimlock say execute them.
Yeah, and thus the revolution starts.
Yeah.
It's great. The Sharkticons.
Yeah.
Did you watch the third season of the Transformers after the movie? With the 5 Faces of Evil and stuff like that?
When I was a kid, or maybe I was like a early teen, something like that.
Yeah.
I watched it like a couple of times, and the animation was bad, and of course
it got real bad. Yeah.
Galvatron's not going to be Leonard Nimoy. I don't know. It's just not as good. Yeah,
the Decepticons are in the burnt out planet of Char, but the animation fell like a lot. I was like, what the hell? The movie was great. Yeah. Seasons 1 and 2 were awesome. And then season 3 is like, wow, they really cut the costs on this one. They really went lazy with the animation. I was like,
well, and you could tell that they set the movie in 2005. So all the stuff that happened, they could continue the cartoon on the way it was, right? Because 2005 was like way out into the future.
Sure.
So they could have just kept the cartoon going exactly like it was, and we wouldn't have had to deal with Optimus Prime being dead, or all these other guys being dead, or Starscream and no Megatron and all that.
They just wanted to sell more toys. They wanted to renew the stock, the cast of characters, right? So that's what they wanted.
I'm sure that's what it is. So the only one I have left now to watch is the 2021 Candyman. So I'm looking forward to that too. And then also when these new ones come out, the old Candyman and the Rawhead Rex and
Transmutations.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's going to be exciting. You're going to be seeing like badly made special effects in 4K.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll be able to see all the zippers and stuff.
And the wires and whatever. You'll be able to see like the LED. No, they didn't have LEDs back then, but the red lights inside Rawhead Rex's eye hole mask.
Oh, yeah, probably.
When he runs at the camera at the trailer park, looking straight up, like it's just ridiculous.
The HD version, the Blu-ray is awesome already. It looks really good for Rawhead Rex.
Still a stinker.
Yeah, totally. But
those last scene special effects, it's just full of bloom, and it's just like this weird, like animated, like streaks of blue that are just super fuzzy.
Yeah, colored onto the film, probably.
Sure. Anything that preserves movies is commendable, I guess.
Yeah, for Clive Barker fans, heck yeah, go back and do Hellraiser and Lord of Illusions and Nightbreed.
Yeah, I would appreciate that. I would love to see that stuff in 4K if they could find the elements in 4K for that. Yeah, if they scanned them in 4K, I mean. Yeah.
Right. So in this episode, we're going to be talking about news, but we also are going to talk about the Duels of Blood. Really, do you want to do that first or the news?
Yeah, let's do the Duels of Blood.
Yeah, it's going to be short, and actually, I'm shocked. Shocked, I tells you. Every single one of these is not what I expected at all.
I know. I was looking at this when I took the screenshot and put this on our OneNote. I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, what? Why is this happening?
I know. People have been voting on this. They surprised me. They're surprised. There's several hundreds of votes in here, so that's really good.
So if you go over to duelsofblood.com, you'll be able to kind of follow along what we're talking about. And when this goes up, we'll have the next round, round 5 will be up. And I already did the random generator to figure out what the matches are, and we'll talk about that here too.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So Shuna Sassy versus Bright Eyes and The Voice. So now if you were going to bet on which one of those would win, what would you bet?
Not the obscure Cenobites that have no lines and just show up in one small story, for sure. But they won, Bright Eyes and The Voice. So they actually are the only Hellraiser character that makes it to the semifinal.
Yeah. And then we've got Dr. Decker versus Hepexamendios.
Yep.
It wasn't even close.
It wasn't even close.
And it wasn't Dr. Decker. It was Hepexamendios.
Like, everybody loves Decker. Like, he made it to the quarterfinals, but holy crap, someone is a big Magica fan out there.
Yeah, 83% of the votes went to Hepexamendios.
And another Magica character also beat a fan favorite.
Yeah. Pio Pa versus Cabal.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and also not even close.
Piopa had 5 times more votes than Cabal.
Yeah.
He had like 201 versus Cabal's 44. So Piopa takes the battle and moves on to the semifinals.
There's some contrarians in here voting on this, I think.
I'm very surprised. I'm looking already at the pairings that you did totally randomly, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Story repeats itself.
Yeah.
But the last match is a former champion versus another fan favorite. Pinhead, the Hell Priest, lost against Narcisse.
Lost versus Narcisse, and by a lot again. Pinhead only had 23% of the votes. Narcisse had 77% of the votes. Everyone's
favorite Nightbreed thespian won.
Yeah.
With his Ray-Bans and his cowboy straw hat. And he dances on to the semifinals.
He's an actor, see?
Yeah. He's got some fight in him.
I was very surprised. Every single one of these matches did not go like I was expecting.
No, there's definitely a big Magica fan out there because, like I said, you put together Hepexamendios and Pio Pa's votes, and it's over 400 votes. So, wow. That is amazing. Yeah. Good job.
Well, and I did post this in the Clive Barker book club, so I wonder if this skewed towards literary characters.
Well, if in the sense of skew, you mean that Clive Barker fans voted on the Clive Barker character poll, I guess.
Well, but, I mean, they're all Clive Barker characters, but...
That's an interesting point that you raised, because I wonder how many people who have read Clive Barker's books have also seen his movies. And I mean, I'm biased, right? I've seen everything. So, but I wonder if there are people out there who have read Cabal but haven't seen Nightbreed. That's interesting. I would like to know more about that. If you're out there and you've read Cabal but never saw Nightbreed, how did you envision the movie of the book in your head?
Yeah.
That's cool.
In the Clive Barker book club, I saw a post that was a little shocking, where somebody said, reading The Hellbound Heart, I just wish that somebody would make a Hellraiser movie that would do the book justice, and directed by someone who actually cares about the subject matter.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what?
What? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Clive Barker adapted the script. He wrote the script
wrote
and then he directed the movie.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can't get much closer than that.
That broke me.
Yeah, I mean, like what? And
bless your heart.
And I think that the Liz, the creator and moderator, kind of said, "Hey, maybe you want to reword this or something, because
yeah,
you're kind of trashing Clive Barker," and he probably didn't even realize.
Yeah.
So to your point, you and I, of course, read everything and watch everything, but I wonder if there are people out there that are like fans of horror novels, right? And maybe
sure. Now, I know that there are lots of people who have seen the movies but not read the books. That's the most common thing. But the people who have read the books, and have not watched the movies, I'm curious, because it's not just for Hellraiser and Nightbreed. You not only have the movies, but you have comic books, and you have all these things around, comic books in the 90s, comic books in the 21st century, and it's like how hard is it for someone to read the book but never have gotten into another media version of the story?
Well, and so I kind of imagine those people coming into it, having a vast collection of horror novels, and Clive Barker maybe is just one of the people that they like, that they read.
I'm probably going to make a lot of people angry right now, but I think the perfect adaptation to continue Nightbreed on TV would have been a cartoon show. Instead of a live action show, I would have loved to see the Nightbreed as a cartoon show.
I think about that too. I mean, and I think about that a lot of times with the books that I read, and I think, if budget is a problem, make it animated.
Yeah,
and you can even bring the original actors back.
Sure. Yeah, they'll do voice acting. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Why not? I mean, I just think
totally
the
agree.
Nightbreed
I think that would be awesome.
Great, and it doesn't have to be just for kids.
No,
but it could be a really cool cartoon show, animated show.
Yeah,
I would have loved to see that.
If only you and I were in charge of these things.
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, that they do need to listen to fans, and I don't know what happens.
We would have made dozens of dollars, dozens.
Yeah. I don't know what happens when when something's getting adapted and they feel like they need to remake it for the newer audience, and all of a sudden you get this Weave World adaptation that's talking about a pastry chef and an app developer, and you get so far afield and you start losing interest in them. It's just,
the way I see it, it's just someone latches onto a project that's got a familiar name, and then they go like open a drawer where they have their own little crappy story, and they go like, "Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we make a TV show? And here's a pilot for it that I just changed the names of the characters. Here you go." It's like someone always has a story in the drawer that they suddenly repurpose, and they go like, okay, a lot of people like this name of X, Y, and Z show, or X, Y, and Z character, or X, Y, and Z book. Hey, why don't I try to, use my, mediocre little idea for something that was completely different and just adapt it for this. And that seems like that's happened to Hellraiser. That's happened to a lot of stuff, where they change scripts and they just, slap Pinhead in there and then call it a day. I don't know.
Well, and you think about Books of Blood, right? The Hulu movie. You and I had been following the news on that for probably 2 years or something like that.
Sure.
And so we weren't caught off guard when it came out, and it didn't have, it wasn't like an anthology of Books of Blood stories, adaptations.
Yeah, and Clive said he was going to come up with some ideas with the writers that would be different stories. So we knew there was going to be different stuff in there.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the fans, who were not following the interviews and all the stuff, all the news about it, were caught off guard. Oh, thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Joel just brought me a milkshake.
Breaking news. Ryan has just been handed another piece of news. It's a milkshake.
And he handed it to me in my BarkerCast mug.
Nice. So you got one? Yeah. I love my BarkerCast t-shirts. Shameless plug.
I accidentally sent it to myself when I was supposed to be sending it to one of our Kickstarter backers.
Yeah.
I tried using Apple Pay and it automatically filled in my address and sent it to me. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll take that. And then I just started over, and I did send them one too. But.
Nice. This is a good chance to plug our teepublic.com/store/BarkerCast store.
Yeah.
Go check it out, because we got the Jericho Squad 77 t-shirt, which apparently you wrote t-shirt twice.
I did?
I don't know. It says Jericho Squad 77 t-shirt.
Well, that's just to remind you in case you forgot after you read it the first
That's right. And we got the Cenobium cover design t-shirt and our 10th anniversary Baphomet t-shirt by yours truly.
Yeah. So there are now 2 Cenobium t-shirt designs.
That's right. The one with Nyx, the one with the Nirasawa-based Cenobite. Mm-hmm. And you also have t-shirts to show your love for the Duels of Blood.
Yeah. If you want to get really obscure and have people say, what is that? you can get that shirt.
You can point them to duelsofblood.com and they'll be like, who are these people? Mm-hmm. But anyway, so go there, because we got mugs, we got stickers, we got hoodies, we got t-shirts.
And getting back to the Duels of Blood, next round, and as you're listening to this, it should be up on the website and available to vote for the next couple of weeks. Hepexamendios versus Pi Opa.
I'm getting deja vu.
Yeah. Hepexamendios won in the book, right? I mean, he kind of killed Pi Opa.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, it kind of like he took Pi Opa and, well, spoilers. He took Pi Opa into the zone where all the souls were gathered.
In the First Dominion.
Yes. But ultimately, his evil did not endure, and Pi Opa was released.
Yeah. So I guess that's sort of like a weird, twisted, corrupted version of heaven, the First Dominion, right?
Yeah. I think they were actually in the circle, right? They were inside the circle. That's what I took out of it, that, that area was somewhere between, there was an entrance from the first into the inside of the circle. So that's what I thought. All the souls were trapped, right? But this is subjective.
Well, I thought all the souls couldn't get into heaven, and that's what
Taylor,
that's right. That's what Taylor was talking about.
Right, yeah.
They were blocked from getting into heaven.
Which brings the interesting question about Imagica. Where is heaven? Is that the center of the circle? Who knows?
Or is it the First Dominion? And are the Dominions a spherical planet, world? Or are they like, a continent or something?
These are the questions that keep me up at night.
I know. Well, they do me, because I have to build our game around this stuff.
Yeah, well, you know what we can do? We can drive over to Los Angeles, kidnap Clive Barker, and keep him in your basement.
Yeah.
In your Airbnb room.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Feed him grapes and extract from his brain all the information about the Imagica.
He'd say, I wrote that 30 years ago.
But BarkerCast does not condone kidnapping Clive Barker.
Yeah, please.
So Hepexamendios versus Pi Opa, that's going to be one of the semifinal matches. And the other one's going to be Narcisse and Bright Eyes and the Voice. So Nightbreed versus Hellraiser.
I can't believe Bright Eyes and the Voice even made it this far.
Yeah, I know. But that was the whole point, right? Because we already had some of these characters win Duels of Blood previous editions. So we knew the fans were like, we already got Pinhead to the finish line. So now it's the rounds of Duels of Blood of the underdogs.
Yeah, and nobody's a bigger underdog than Bright Eyes
and the Voice.
Yeah,
yes,
that's really strange.
Yeah, and Narcisse, I guess you could call him an underdog.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, in the director's cut, he gets decapitated.
Yeah. When does the voting for the 5th round start?
It'll start Sunday, which is the same time that this is released. So as you're listening to this, you should be able to vote. And that'll go on for another 2 weeks, and it'll end on a Thursday. So
go vote for your favorite character now. It's duelsofblood.com.
From the Reef, we have a little bit of news. Not a lot stuff going on. I think it's been a little quiet.
Yeah.
And you found most of these things, right?
Yeah, and Catalina and Joe from Little Spark Films sent us some links too.
Yeah.
So, we got some interesting things.
So Jamie Clayton, and if you don't remember that name, this is the actress who is going to be playing Pinhead in the Hulu Hellraiser film.
Creeping up on her Instagram, and I found out that there was an Instagram video of Jamie Clayton being molded for Hulu Hellraiser. I'm imagining they were molding for, the makeup and they were molding the face. So they do the whole thing with the, not straws up the nose, but there's a big chunk of blue stuff around Jamie's head, and it's a time-lapse video. It's pretty fun to watch.
Is that like an old video? Because I thought they had already finished filming.
Yeah, so they did, and this video is from like September of last year.
Okay. So it seems like they're keeping stuff really tight, close to the vest, as far as like what the look of this film is going to be.
Yeah.
If that's the only thing she can release is getting a mold put on her, right? That doesn't really tell you anything about what the movie's going to look like.
Well, yeah, I mean, they weren't going to spoil the makeup. Right. So it looks like this molding was done on July 12th, 2021, and then the video got released a few months later on Jamie Clayton's Instagram feed. And I was just scrolling around, and I was like, oh, Jamie Clayton, I wonder what she has on her Instagram.
Yeah.
And I looked, and I was like, hey, this is cool. I didn't see this. So I thought we'd just put a little link to that in the show notes. Yeah,
so you check it out. That's interesting. I'm really looking forward to this movie. I hope that I hope that it does well, and I hope that it gets a physical release. And I'm going to keep on hounding that particular topic because
yeah, you're a fan of like physical releases, as am I.
Yeah. Something else I was thinking of, if they're going to put that out on a Blu-ray, then maybe they should just do like a double pack and put the Books of Blood in there too.
Sure. Why not? Hey, I mean, when you think about it, the thing is, you buy a Blu-ray from them, you pay like what, maybe $30. Mm-hmm. That's like 3 months of what it costs to get Hulu. So they figure, they figure if we keep it on our streaming platform, you're going to have to pay like the whole year to keep this around.
Yeah. Well, right now, I mean, I watched Duels of Blood with you. I watched it probably for the podcast maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
After that, Hulu's got nothing I want. You know, not until Hellraiser comes out, and then I'll probably I'll be subscribing again.
Absolutely, yeah. Whenever the movie comes out, for sure.
Although I think I've seen an advertisement for something on Hulu that I thought looked interesting, but I can't remember what it is.
Oh, yeah, there's all sorts of shows there. Honestly, at this point, I don't have Hulu. Yeah. Like you, I only kept it for maybe a couple of months when the Book of Blood came out, Books of Blood, and then I canceled it because I already had like Netflix, and Netflix recently went up to $20, and you can downgrade it to $14.95 a month. But anyway, I already have other options.
And in other countries that don't have Hulu, Books of Blood is on Disney Plus, which kind of freaks some people out. But it's kind of like, in my view, it's like Disney owns half the movie industry. So what do you expect?
Yeah, and now you got horror movies on Disney Plus, which is interesting.
Yeah, right.
But what if your kid is alone at home and has Disney Plus and he finds the wrong movie to watch? Won't someone think of the children? I'm just joking. Who cares about the children? I saw horror movies and I'm fine. I'm a well-adjusted individual.
My son's 10. He won't watch any movies.
Sure.
He just gets a lot of anxiety about movies in general, not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, I guess he hasn't learned how to make that anxiety feel good.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what it is.
Because sometimes you want to feel a little scared. You want to have like that. You want to watch into thriller. You want to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Oh no, this guy got shot.
And it's that give and take, and the anxiety and the payoff and the resolution and stuff. And
sure. That's the best part. Hey, kids these days have other outlets for their, entertainment. They have computer games, and like, I don't know anything about Fortnite and stuff like that, but
he watches endless YouTube videos of people playing Minecraft.
Sure.
And What's that game with the little guys that are murdering each other on the spaceship?
Among Us?
Yes, that's it, Among Us.
Okay, yeah. I haven't played that one either. Boomer Joe. I just play Skyrim and Fallout 4 and
it's kind of weird that boomer just came to mean like old and out of touch. You know, it is like a generation.
I know. I was just using boomer in the millennial sense.
I know. It's just strange. And I was in a class and somebody was talking about has your kid called you a boomer yet? And I'm like, why would he call me that? I'm Generation X.
Yeah.
And I said, you might as well call me the greatest generation. And then the teacher goes, I am in the greatest generation.
Wow, really? Is he that old?
Yeah, he was really.
Like and you said, shut up, boomer, didn't you?
He was like in his 80s. So I think he was probably the bottom end of the greatest generation. But.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, geez, how old is Doug Bradley? He's born in 54. So he is 67 at this point, and right. and Clive Barker is 68.
Yeah, and Pete Atkins is younger than both of them.
Yeah. And speaking of Pete Atkins, this is me trying to do a transition.
I like it.
So if you are not following Pete Atkins on Facebook, you're missing out because he's very active there and he posts a lot of stuff going on with his career and his shows that he's going to be a part of and celebrations that he's going to be a part of and signings and autograph signings. He's in another podcast. Which I'm very happy to be promoting anyway because I love Pete Atkins. We love you. And he was this Thursday, and you can still watch it. It's on YouTube. He was live on Pizzawell's Bloodstream YouTube channel. So he did like 3 hours with them. I don't know if he was there the whole 3 hours because I haven't watched it yet. As we speak this, it was on Thursday and today's Saturday, but I was working the whole week, so I didn't have time.
Yeah, same here.
But it's a 3-hour video, so I'm sure they go through all sorts of stuff.
But their questions can't be as good as our questions.
And there's also questions that were being posed by people watching the stream. So
that's great. That's so cool. That's one neat thing about live streaming that we aren't able to do because I just don't have the technical savvy to try to set something like that up. Other than I guess we've done Zoom ones that were kind of open.
The 300th episode was an interesting experience for sure. Yeah. We had so many people.
It was a little chaotic, and there was a little bit of a crazy circus about it.
Oh yes, I do. I'm sure you felt the same. I felt like we were juggling like 10 balls at the same time, and I was like, oh my God, is this working? Are people watching? Pete Atkins was in Bloodstream YouTube channel. The link is in the show notes. And he's also, I think this one we're still covering this in time. It's not in the past; it's in the future. Yeah. So as you listen to this, the 25th anniversary of Wishmaster, the movie, is being celebrated at the American Cinematheque Friday Night Frights in Los Feliz on April 22nd. So you can go say hello to Pete Atkins, to Andrew Divoff, who played the genie, the Djinn. Yeah. And composer Henry Manfredini, who you might also know from Friday the 13th.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So Los Feliz in California at the American Cinematheque's Friday Night Frights on April 22nd. So it's almost there. It's just 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, and we talked about doing I think did that happen? I forget. The Wishmaster audio commentary.
Wishmaster audio commentary?
Yeah, that was one of our stretch goals for our Kickstarter, and I can't remember if we made that or not.
Oh yeah,
we've definitely talked about it before. We haven't done it.
Yeah, I've watched it for the podcast, but I think you're right. We haven't done the commentary yet, so that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I can't remember if we actually technically made the goal, but we may just do it anyway.
Hey, we could save that one for Halloween of this year and try to get Pete Atkins to join us. That's just a thought. No guarantees yet, but we'll see. Yeah, maybe even try to contact Andrew Divoff or something. Yeah. Something to put in the back burner.
Doug Bradley's Down to Hell at the Horror Hub, right? So Doug Bradley's Down to Hell show is on the Horror Hub.
That's right. Yeah, Horror Hub YouTube channel. He does it. I think it's pretty much every Thursday or every other Thursday. I made a joke. I was like, I hope when I was talking to Ed on the phone, and hi Ed, and I was telling him, hey, Pete Atkins is doing another podcast live tomorrow on Thursday, and he's like, oh, cool, yeah. I'm going to be watching the Doug Bradley one because we watch it every week, and I was like, oh. I guess Pete and Doug are going to be competing for the same time slot. Oh, no.
Oh, really?
But they didn't because Doug Bradley was like at 7 p.m. and the Pete Atkins was like at 10 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, that was all good. But he had Tom Savini this week in Down to Hell.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and they have a kind of a connection because Tom Savini designed the Hellraiser makeup that he used for his meet and greet stuff for
the Phoenix HorrorCon or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And which looked really good.
It did. Yeah, it was pretty amazing for fans to go and take pictures with him in character as Pinhead. So yeah, well, we got that one in the show notes. So go check it out. Tom Savini has a lot of stories to tell. The great dynamic between him and Doug. I watched a little bit at the beginning. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but definitely since I had to work on Saturday, tomorrow I'm catching up on a lot of this stuff.
Oh, that's a good plan. And you found Candyman on Instagram, and I haven't really gotten to understand what this is about.
Yeah, so this was something that was sent to us by Catalina and Joe at Little Spark Films.
Okay.
So they found out this guy called Jellico. He made a piece for a little cartoon Candyman, Buy My Honey, Be My Victim, Sweets for the Sweet Honey Company, bottled fresh every day in Cabrini Green. You can taste the Candyman difference.
Oh, my God.
So,
and there's blood all over the jar.
Yes. So this ended up being a piece for the 30 years later art show opening at Galleries 1988. In LA. So this is a gallery that opened in 2004, the world's first pop culture gallery. Yeah, so apparently the theme is 30 years later, and this Jellico made a piece for this exhibition at Gallery 1988, which is Candyman.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you remember when there was a Candyman perfume? And we made in our episode title was you can smell like Candyman.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that like Black Phoenix Alchemy?
Yes, that's it. That's right. Yep. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah. Just trying to imagine what Candyman must smell like.
I know that on Mubi, there is a Candyman, a documentary about a guy who's a candy maker.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, is it called Candyman?
Yes, it is called Candyman.
They might have
the David Klein story.
They might have taken a little more time with the title.
Candyman tells the amazing true story of David Klein, who came up with the concept of Jelly Belly jelly beans.
Oh my God!
It's an actual documentary. Yeah.
They should have put a subtitle: "Sweets to the Sweet."
Unless if it's one of those jelly bellies that tastes like puke or boogers.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know what. Joel went to a birthday party where they had to. They were getting those and they had to, and the kids were passed those out and they had to say what flavor it was. And sometimes they would get one of those horrible ones. And Joel said, I'm good. I don't want to do that. He didn't participate.
Right. Because there's a chance that you might get one.
Yeah. Why would you want something that smells like throw up or tastes like throw up or whatever? That's
so
awful.
Other people can laugh at you. That's the whole
exactly.
Point. Yeah. Be like, I got it.
They're all going to laugh at you.
Oh, was that a reference to something?
That's from Carrie.
Oh, that's right.
Her mother said that over and over
again. Yeah.
And she would remember it in her head, as...
Go check it out. I think we put the notes for that in the show notes.
Yeah, a link. Yeah, yep, exactly.
Yep, Sweets for the Sweet. And I think that's it for news, right? I think we don't have any other stuff. There was another Pete Atkins bit of news of something that still hasn't happened that I could probably bring into this. Let me just briefly go to Pete Atkins' Facebook page and give him that plug because he deserves it.
Oh, there was also something from Paul Kane, too.
Oh, really?
He posted it in our listeners group. So if you're out there and you're not in our Facebook listeners group, join us, because if you listen to us, then you're the perfect person to join there.
Pete Atkins posted on March 23rd, which is about a couple of weeks ago, that Joseph Freeman has invited me to be a part of the next Midsummer Macabre, his ongoing author reading series. Honored to treat the virtual boards with Tim Leben, David Moody, Allison Moore, and Joe himself. So it's going to be an event Saturday, the 25th of June, online from 1 p.m. Midsummer Macabre, story readings by the authors. So you will be able to hear Pete Atkins read some of his stories, or a story.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that's definitely something to get a ticket to.
Yeah. Sometimes it's tough living in Alaska.
Yeah.
I get to tell all these people about these cool events that are not feasible for me to go to.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I would love to live in California so I could go check out that Wishmaster screening. And, but it's like I'm on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
In Ohio, where it hailed today.
Yeah. It's funny. I actually saw, because I in our Airbnb, I always turn the TV to some like innocuous channel, and I put it on a weather channel, and it was talking all about hail in the Midwest today.
Oh, yeah. There was a little bit of hail and sleet, and then snow for like maybe 20 minutes, and then rain, which melted the snow.
Oh.
Yeah. I love Ohio. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
It's so much better than Phoenix. Wow.
Right. Well, Paul Kane is going to be at ChillerCon in the UK. Thursday, May 26th through Sunday, the 29th of May.
All right. Go, Paul.
Yeah. In the Grand and Royal Hotels in Scarborough, UK. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and another thing. His wife, Mary O'Regan, she has that novel out, Celeste, and she just joined the roster of authors at Encyclopocalypse. So congratulations, Mary O'Regan.
Yeah, congratulations. That is so cool.
So what are you up to, Ryan? What are you up to in terms of Clive Barker or horror stuff? I mean, I know you've watched some 4K.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I still have Candyman 2021 to watch in 4K, which I guess I technically watched a streaming version of it in 4K, but I'd much rather watch the Blu-ray. So I'm going to do that fairly soon. It's just we watched it a lot of times in a row in a short period of time, so that's why I kind of saved that one for last.
Sure. I got a VHS tape of Wishmaster this week. It's actually a full-length screener tape. So in the back it says premiering in 20,000 theaters and 4-month theater to home video, and then it's got that stuff in the back promotional.
Does it put subtitles over it with saying that it's a screener and not to be distributed and all that kind of stuff?
No, I don't think so. No, I've just scrolled a little bit on it. It's just been working the whole week and working Saturday. So, but tomorrow I'm gonna give it a go. Watch Wishmaster one more time from my VHS tape, which I'm sure 4K people who love the Blu-rays that are coming out are like, why the hell do you have a tape? Why? My answer is, why not?
Coming up next, we'll be doing Jericho Squad 77. We'll be recording that one next weekend, but probably it won't be another week before it airs because we don't I can't edit that in one day and get it out anymore. That takes too long.
Yeah.
And Mule Skinner Blues. We'll be doing a commentary for the mockumentary Mule Skinner Blues, the 2003 one produced by Clive Barker.
Nice.
And you for Unborn, right? And Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. That's going to be cool because I have Rosemary's Baby that I got it when we were discussing that for the podcast when we were talking about the movies. And that movie is tremendous. I love that movie.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. I remember David was a big fan of that movie when we discussed it for the book discussion last time.
Yeah. It's a great classic movie.
So David, if you're out there, if you wanna join us for that audio commentary, let us know.
Yep, sure thing.
We haven't heard from David in a long time.
That's true. Life gets in the way.
Yeah. I thought life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Yeah.
We don't have a Patreon, but if you want to hang out with us and listen to more meaningless chit chat,
yeah. Well, actually, speaking of hanging out with us, at some point in the near future, I'd like to do a show off your stuff episode again, because I think technology has sort of caught up to us being able to do that.
Yeah.
When we did it last time, you were in Portugal and we were using the Google Plus Friends, whatever thing.
Google
Hangouts. And the video looked terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have the best camera either. So.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, and so I think that now we can do much better. And with Zoom, we can bring people in a lot easier. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So if you're interested in that, just let us know. I'm not sure when we're going to do it. We're also talking to some Kickstarter backers who are planning an episode. So we've got a couple of those, actually 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah. So, show us your stuff, but keep it above the waist. Okay.
Yeah. Clive Barker collectibles, we mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so, and also, Ryan, that video was bad because it was 10 years ago, you young whippersnapper.
Yeah, it was.
10 years ago in internet years and technology years is an eternity.
Well, and we also invited other people to join us, but nobody came.
I got a rock.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyway, so that sounds like a fun. If we can get some of the backers and stuff who have a lot of interesting Clive Barker stuff, including original artwork, that would be amazing.
And some of our friends who are kind of celebrities too, have really awesome stuff. Like, who are we talking about? Chris Velasco, right?
Yeah.
Has that original painting that's on the 20th anniversary Hellbound Heart.
Oh, that was so cool. He showed it to us on the video, which is on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So go check that one out. Yeah. This was fun.
Yeah. And this podcast, having no beginning, will have no end. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have subscribed. You can find the Clive Barker podcast wherever you find audio. Show notes for this episode, as well as news and reviews, can be found at our website at www.clivebarkercast.com. The Clive Barker Podcast, or BarkerCast, is an independent editorial podcast and blog that is not affiliated with or under contract by Clive Barker or Seraphim Inc. This is a labor of love by the fans for the fans. Watch for our annual Kickstarter fundraisers to get some cool stuff, and you can buy t-shirts on our TeePublic store. Go to teepublic.com and search for BarkerCast.
Thanks for listening.